Okay, I'm here with Louie, Larry, and Danni. Danni, Larry, and Louie. Louie's the puppy. And basically, Larry just got added to the house yesterday. And Danni is actually dog aggressive. Now, the Guardian did a really good job. Normally, I get paid to do these facilitate these sort of introductions, but the Guardian took him to a big outdoor space and introduced them together, and you can see they're doing great as long as he's not barking. Now, in this video, we're going to go over some kennel training tips. He is kennel trained, but he also follows the Guardian around everywhere in the house. We like to refer to this as a Velcro dog. It's usually an indicator of a dog that has separation anxiety. Dogs that suffer from separation anxiety very frequently will destroy things or have accidents when left alone because they're not practiced at doing this. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can create a positive association with the kennel to make sure the dog wants to go in, as well as some kennel training tips. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take 5 really high-value treats. He really likes these treats. I'm going to toss them in there, and I'm tossing them there with the door closed. This is one of the little tricks that I've developed. See, what he's trying to do is he's trying to get in there. He's like, well, how do I get these treats? So this creates a longing to want to go in there because it's something I don't have access to. So we came up with a word. Remind me of the word we're going to use. Cave?
Cave. We're
going to call the, I like using fun command words because dogs can read facial expressions. So if you say cave and the dog goes in there, it makes people laugh, makes the dog want to go in there more often. So what we're going to do is when I open this, anytime you give your dog a treat, when the treat goes in the mouth, they should hear the command word immediately after and only the command word. So the Guardian is going to say the C-A-V-E word every time he licks up a treat.
Cave, 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 cave.
Perfect. So we created a desire to want to go in the kennel by leaving the treats in there with the door closed. And then when he got them, he's hearing an association. So here's the word cave while he licks them up while he's in the cave. Next step is I just want to toss one treat in, let him go get it. And we want to make sure we keep on doing this until he doesn't lean. If it looks like he's like stealing, we have a baseball player who's pretty famous who's filming us right now. And when you're playing baseball, when you want to steal, you kind of keep one foot on the base. When a dog does that, it's a way of saying, I'm not comfortable with whatever I'm going towards. So if you see your dog doing that, then that tells you need to keep on practicing this. The fact that he's lingering in there, and we didn't expect him to have any problems, but I have a lot of people watch my video, so I try to customize it or make him helpful for all. So now I'm going to toss another one in there. Now what I'm doing is I'm following behind him to block him. Actually, if you take a couple steps over there, Mom, can you grab a seat just so you can see it sideways? Now basically what I'm doing at this point is I'm going to wait for him to SIT. Now when a dog SITs, it's a way of saying I'm comfortable. If you're about to get mugged, you don't sit down, you don't check how your hair looks, all the rest of that stuff. So what I'm doing is I'm blocking him from exiting. There we go. He sat down. Come. So for a dog, sitting down is I'm challenging you less, or I'm comfortable in a situation. Laying down is I surrender. So the first couple of times I do this, at first I want the dog to just practice going in and out of the kennel, and I set that up for success by, like I said, having the kennel door closed when I toss this first group of treats in. Then I want the dog practice coming in and out, in and out. Come here, buddy. Yes, I know you're getting the short end of the stick. I'll give you a treat there. All right, so now after I blocked him like it there, I want to put another treat in, and this time I'm going to let him go and get it without blocking. I want him to not think every time I go in here, I'm going to be locked in here. And a lot of dogs, the only time that they're actually put in the kennel is when the humans leave. And so for the dog, the kennel represents 2 things. I'm being left alone, the humans abandoned me, and I'm restrained or forced to stay in here. So we want the dog to practice being in here in a calm and balanced state of mind. Even though it seems like an oxymoron, you want your dog to practice being in the kennel when you are home, more than when you leave, especially at first. All right, let's ask him to come back out. Come here, buddy. We'll toss another one in. Oh, that sometimes happens. Here, buddy. All right, let's try that again. Oh. Now, when you're doing this for this exact reason, if you have multiple dogs, you might want to have the other 2 dogs out. Come here, puppy. And this actually was the puppy's kennel, so it's not surprising that that's the case. So, cave. Now, when you're doing this, you want the dog to go all the way in before you do this again. All right, so the next step is I want to wait for the dog to LAY. Now, don't tell the dog to SIT or LAY because I tell it to sit and it does. It's just following a command. It doesn't signify anything. When he SIT'd in there, the previous incident, he was telling me I'm comfortable being in here. Now, I'm going to wait for him to LAY this time. We're going to try to wait. The record for the dog to LAY, the first that I have currently is 1 hour and 15 minutes. We're not going to film 1 hour and 15 minutes of waiting for a dog to LAY. But when a dog LAYs in the kennels, it's a way of indicating to you that it's very comfortable. So now I'm standing here blocking the exit, and I'm blocking with my legs, but the door is open. So again, the two things the dogs don't like is I'm restrained and I'm left alone. Well, we're practicing this with the human here, so I'm not alone, and the door's open, so I'm not restrained. I take a step back. If he tries to come forward, I say no by stepping towards him. And then basically I'm going to, there you go. As soon as he sits this time, now I take a step back. Oh, that was better than I planned. Come. I saw that coming. Come on, buddy. Now, if they want to linger in there, that's fine. They don't have to come out, and that's actually the whole point. What we want them to do is feel comfortable going in the kennel. Come here, buddy. I thought somebody else was going to go in there. Yeah, we're talking to you, good looking. All right, so the idea is to help him practice going in and out of there. Now, there's other things that we can do. Now, we want to make sure the other dogs don't do this, because this really is for him, because we don't know how he's going to behave when we leave him home alone. We want to make sure he stays safe and he doesn't destroy anything. So one of the things you can do is actually get a what are those that you're using? Not the bully sticks?
Bone.
The cheek?
Cow cheek.
Cow cheek. So what you can do is get a cow cheek or a bully stick or a marrow bone or something like that, drill through it, and then get a zip tie and zip it pretty low in the kennel. So the only way the dog can chew on that is being inside the kennel. Now the door is left open. So I go in there, and again, I'm practicing being calm inside the kennel. Actually, I'm practicing enjoying being in the kennel because something pleasurable is happening. I'm going to chew on this cow's cheek or whatever it is. Now, if they do get it free, don't let them take it out of the kennel. So the only place you're going to have this is in here. That makes this a special, magical place where the dog wants to hang out. Now, eventually, you want to get to the point where you can close, when the dog is like going in there on its own is what you're looking for. But eventually, you want to be able to have the dog go in there on his own and just laying in there with the door open, without any cave, without any commands or reinforcers. So at this point, I just want to see how he does. He's only been here for a day. He hasn't ever been in this kennel before, so I just want to see how he does. Now, he's breathing heavy. Personally, he's a little bit heavy himself. But if a dog is in a kennel and hasn't been doing anything athletic and starts breathing like this, that's a sign of stress. So that means the dog is not comfortable in the kennel. That means they need to practice a lot more. Now, the idea for this is we want him just to feel comfortable, because when we're watching TV, sometimes we put him in here and we hang out. We're all hanging out together. I'm just in this little kennel. Now, when we actually start leaving, before we actually leave the house, what I would do is put him in here and then have everybody leave and go hang out in the basement or somewhere else. And ideally with the security camera so you can watch him. And so wait for him to be settled and calm and laying down. Then very casually get up without any fanfare production. Maybe one person gets up, the next person gets up, next person. Cave. I don't think, based on what I'm seeing, that he's going to have problems with the kennel. This is a lot easier than usually I have to deal with. But we just want to make sure, because again, he might have some separation anxiety. And it might be just because he's in a new home. That's why he's following the guardian around everywhere. But typically dogs that have separation anxiety do destroy things. I've seen dogs try to break their teeth off trying to get out of the kennel. And most people's response is to try to get a stronger kennel. Well, if your child is afraid of something, you wouldn't get them a stronger restraint. You would help them get over the fear. So all these things are designed for the dog to feel comfortable around the kennel. And you can see he's laying down in the kennel on his own with the door closed. So he's pretty relaxed. But we want to practice doing it in this location, in this specific kennel, in this specific home, until, and for progressively longer periods of time. You might want to actually, the guardian had him sleep with her last night. He probably is going to protest, but I would suggest getting him, try to have him sleep in here at night, because then again, that's great practice at being calm in the kennel. So I would keep on doing the same techniques. We're in a session. We're going to end the session here a little bit. I'm going to leave the treats. What we do is just keep on doing the same thing. Keep on tossing the treats in here until the point where if this is his personal place. We showed the older dog this is going to be her personal place, and we're going to put a dog bed here that's kind of a communal bed, but it'll really end up being for Louie, because if he's in here, Louie's sleeping right here. They're pretty much together. And then she's right here, and they're pretty much together, but she has a little bit of status because she's higher than they are. So basically, these are tips and tricks you can use if you have a dog that's fearful or you want to do some kennel training to make sure your dog has a positive association with the crate.